All right, let me pull up these books real quick. All right, stocks. Study books. Okay, so I'm going to share this book with you guys. Um, but before I do that, I want you to understand the definition of technical analysis. Again, all you have to do is go to Investopedia and type in technical analysis. And it says technical analysis is a method of evaluating statistical trends in trading activity, typically involving price movement and volume. It is used to identify trading, investment, and opportunities. Unlike fundamental analysis, which attempts to evaluate a security's value based on financial information such as sales, earnings, get all your ratios, right? So technical analysis is you're trying to predict stock movements based on past market data, primarily price and volume. And there's a bunch of different books that you can get on technical analysis. You can get high probability candlestick charts and setups. This is something that I used. I think I can share this with you because it's not a book or anything. So what this will go through is different, you know, setups that this person likes, right? And you can look at them and read through them. So here, this is just high probability candlestick setups. There's quite a few. You could look at technical analysis using multiple time frames. That's another book. The Candlestick Trading Bible. That's another book. There's a lot that you can read about it. But the thing to understand is we're not doing anything with valuation. We're trying to predict a chart pattern, and it's going to do something because of what we've seen in the past. So we have stats that say, hey, this works 50% of the time, this works 70% of the time, this works 60% of the time. And we're trying to predict what's going to happen. And so for you guys that don't know what technical analysis is, these are some of the common patterns that technical analysis traders use. For you guys that actually know what it is, can you put in your favorite pattern? What is your favorite technical analysis pattern to play? No, what's your favorite? I'll put mine in. Mine's the ascending triangle. Okay. Now, do you see how many people are putting in woodpecker? Can somebody tell me the difference between a woodpecker and an ascending triangle? What's the difference? Not much. Yeah, I'll show you the difference. You ready? It's really complicated. John, you got it. John nailed it. So this is what a woodpecker looks like. Here, let me shrink it down. So your price action is doing this, shoots up, comes down, and it does this. Well, guess what? That's an ascending triangle. This little head part gives it the woodpecker head. Right? So the only difference is you have this. It's not a woodpecker if you don't have that. Otherwise, it's just an ascending triangle. Right? So why is it one of my favorite patterns? Well, it's a pretty reliable pattern. So if we go back to NVIDIA, do you guys remember when I jumped on an NVIDIA today and I said, hey, I'm going to play NVIDIA for a scalp play? I did this over lunch. Can anybody see any patterns taking shape around lunchtime? What do we got here, guys? What is that? It's just higher lows. That's what you need to create an ascending pattern. Bam, right? Oh, yeah, this looks great. I want to play this. Same thing on the SPY. I said, hey, I do the SPY as well. I play the SPY same way. Well, what do we got? Well, same thing, right? Bam, bam. So what I want you to understand about technical analysis is everybody knows this. Everyone. This isn't a time period in life where only a few people knew about technical analysis and we could trade it as an edge. Everyone knows it. So what does that mean? Well, what it means to me, and the first thing that I wanted everybody to understand right here, I said, the main thing I've noticed about technical analysis is that the market makers use it to take your money. Okay? So that's what I call liquidity chases. Remember, we went over that this morning. Liquidity chases, they will break to high, break to lows to try and take your money. Sorry, Charlie's talking to me. Okay, so if you don't know what technical analysis is, I would encourage you to get some books and read it and learn. If you do, I want you to, this lesson is mainly for you. So technical analysis, read this chart, watch the video, understand it. Now, bullish patterns and bearish patterns. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to buy? When are we supposed to buy? When are we supposed to sell? Well, if you notice the bull flag, which many people said they liked, well, when are you supposed to buy? Well, if it's doing this, you're supposed to buy here. There's your breakout, right? Or on, let's just say an inverted or a head, we'll do a head and shoulder. Somebody said that was their favorite. When are you supposed to short? Here. Right? Now, what do I always tell you guys happens after the chart breaks to new highs and breaks to new lows? What do we need to see? So if we're using a bull flag and the chart pattern is doing this, it breaks out here. What do we look for? Larry Livingston nailed it, right? He for you guys that don't know, for you new people, Larry was the first person that I mentored. He is smarter than I am, I'll tell you that. And that's why he's successful, because he is smart and learned from me, right? So if you're smart and want to learn, I can help you be successful. So we look for this retest right here, right? This is where we want to get it. Now, understanding all of this, we need to say, all right, well, why do people lose so much money if everyone knows technical? Oh, wait, hold on. I got to take a pause. 100%. Oh, yeah. Give me a sec. Come on, give it to me. What I get it. What I get filled at. Nate G, are you here? $25. What? Yeah, baby. Nate G, are you here? Sorry, guys. I have to take a moment. So what I want to do here is, can anybody find me a current pattern right here, right now, on a stock that we can look at? And if you can't, we'll just use the ones that I've already shown you. Yeah, absolutely. I shared that when we first started, but I'll share it again. Okay. Okay. Larry says PLD 4 hours. Wow, this chart. I mean, isn't this thing beautiful, right? Um, I don't know why you want to play the 4 hour, not the daily. Is there a reason, Larry? I would just play the daily. Um, so if we look at PLD, have we broken highs? Like from a technical perspective, have we broken out? Can you guys tell me using, you know, these charts to understand you to help you understand, right? Like, did we make a new high? The answer is yes. Oh, what's up, Nate? I just hit another 100% winner, buddy. Boom, shaka, laka. I got to admit, though, Nate, I was cheating, kind of. Oh, did you hit one too? Oh, nice. Nice. I got two, brother. I got two. Is this your first one? I'm still up. I'm still up then. I just hit my second one. um, I was calling for you, but you weren't here. See, he comes back to brag and rub at my face. But no, I got another one. You guys like this friendly competition that we have between each other? It's fun to me, right? It helps you try to be better. Um, so here, let's zoom in as high as possible, and see. Let's look at the weekly. Your weekly high over here was 122.61. Well, your high over here is 123. So did we break that high? The answer is yes. So this is lower than this. So the answer is we broke out. Well, what's supposed to happen when you break out of these? Well, according to technical analysis, you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go up, right? Go, go. We broke. Go. This is why I tell you, hey, when we break out, we got to go, right? We got to go. We got to go. Well, I want to show you something else about this particular chart, PLD. We'll bring it to a shorter time frame here. Let's let's use this. Actually, I'm going to take the here. Hold on a sec. I'm going to take the lines off so it's clear. Okay. Does anybody see a pattern right here? Again, it's kind of sloppy. It's a little bit harder to see, but I see a few, right? Everybody sees this, right? Does everybody see that? Can you guys see that? Right? That that's technically an ascending triangle. Well, guess what? It's also kind of like a cup and handle. What is a cup and handle? It's kind of like an ascending triangle, right? So you've got quite a few patterns setting up here that are bullish. So would you guys like to be a part of this if it breaks out? And our high is 122.25. So let's set that at 122.25. Right? So according to technical analysis, the answer is yes, I would. I'd like to be a part of it. So if we're supposed to buy this when it breaks out, let's see when we get triggered in. Oh, we're in. See that little wick? So what are we buying at? 122.26? We just bought, according to technical analysis, 122.26. 126. So I'm sitting at 122.26 because we just broke out of our technical analysis that is called a ascending triangle that tells us that we're supposed to buy on that breakout. Right? Well, let's see what happens. Let's see if we become happy or sad. Okay. Oh, crap. I bought at 122 looking for a breakout, 122.26 up here, and I'm down $2. Okay. Gummit. Trade's over, right? Stop out, didn't break out, it's gone. This is where volume profile comes in. Okay. What I want to show you is, do you see how we're holding a specific level on this? All of a sudden, we're trying the breakout again. Is it going to work this time? Nobody knows, right? We don't know. We're just taking high probability setups, letting the stats fall where they lie. You know what I mean? So here, I'm going to show you this again, but this time we're going to use the power of volume profile and how you should be applying this to technical analysis. Yeah, thanks, Claudia. All right. Let's use. I have to expand and be bigger. Oops. Because we need to see VP. Now, I'm going to make the VP a little bit brighter so you guys can see it. You guys can see this, right? Pretty clear? Pretty clear as day, right? Okay. So, the way that you would look at this for a possible breakout, go, looks great, trade, we would want to look at this and we would want to figure out where the zones are, right? And the only people that we care about are in this little flag area. So I'm going to zoom in. The tightest that I could get it is, it looks like 10 minutes. If I go to 5, I take some of it away. Yeah. I got to go to a 10-minute chart, right? So I'm on a 10-minute chart. And what I'm doing is just the flag. So, right, what we were looking at in the flag, that's really all I care about to figure out if I want to play this and how. And that's because this is what I'm playing. This is the chart pattern that I'm playing. Okay, so as I zoom into these people, I need to figure out where support and resistance will be. Now, if we were looking at this before the first breakout, right here, right? We haven't broken out yet. And we're looking at this and we're like, man, this chart looks great. Woo! Nice find, Nate G. Love it. Let's break it down volume profile wise. I have to zoom in. So the first people that I'm going to zoom into are these guys. Right here. Okay. So let's see. Zoom to these people. I'm going to zoom to that selected area. This is TC2000. Where do you guys see the point of control? You guys agree that it would be probably here? Okay, understood. Bam. There's your point of control. Right? About one. But I also do see some peeps up here at value area high, right? So you know what? I'm gonna put in a little bit of a couple lines to let me know there's some people there and some resistance. But look, there's also some people down here. Okay, probably your value area low. Okay, great, understood. Now I've got my levels for this zone. Let's undo zoom and go back and look at the entire chart again. Okay. Now that I've zoomed into just these people up here, right? I now am going to zoom into the people below them, which are here. And so this is for me finding the volume profile areas. And it's like, oh wow, man. So you got some pretty good support down here at 118. You know, 117.80. Like that's a pretty big deal if it gets down to there. All right, and then I would put the next one here. All right, now undo zoom. I don't know where these people are. Right. Well, this is what the chart looked like. Again, we're playing pre-breakout. So this is what the chart looked at. So the next people to look at are these two. The group over here on my right. These people have the most effect on the stock price because they're the most recent buyers. This is a 10-minute chart that I'm using. Okay, so, well, actually, I may be able to zoom in a little bit closer now that I'm playing the little bit later ones. Let's see. Yeah, I can. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on a 5-minute chart. This is before breakout, pre-breakout, right? Take that off the screen. Now, does this VP change that much? Not really. What I would do here is I would say, all right, you know what? I'll put another line right here to say, you know what? I think as long as we hold that level, I think we're good. And then I would say, all right, you can see a little bit more VP up here, right? It's basically an afternoon's VP. So if you wanted to, you could come in and say, you know what, there's a little bit of a line right here. But I'd make this one real thin, and I'd say it's not that big of a deal. It's an afternoon worth of transaction, not 1 or 2 days or anything like that. All right, now let's go show the current chart, and let's figure out pre-breakout. And this is, I heard Nate G talking about this. This is I got to switch to 10-minute again. This is a big deal, what I'm about to explain to you. Larry, are you here? I don't know if Larry's still here. Here's a question I'm going to ask you guys. When you are taking a trade, you always want to find where the trade breaks. Where does the trade break and you need to stop out? My trade is done. Right? My story's done. What I thought was going to happen, it's not going to work. Where would you guys say that is on PLD? Larry, where would you say it is? Where does this chart break and I do not want to be a part of it? Because Larry's saying 120. Right here. And then well, which one is it, Larry? Is it 120 or 118? I'm not asking where are support zones. I'm saying, when does the chart break and I need to stop out? So this is the key of understanding VP, understanding technical analysis combined. So for me, you guys see this white line here, right? Like, do you see this big VP? As long as we stay above these people, I think it's fine to keep playing PLD, right? For me, I want to be trading in this zone right here. And as long as we stay in that zone or above it, I'm fine. If we start breaking down, what are the odds that we come to this zone? It's going to be pretty high. I don't want to ride this thing down from 117 to 112. Right? So remember we did that this morning on the SPY. I said, hey, let's just not touch it until it gets to 590. Right? Let's just let it run down. That's the same thing. If this breaks, we just don't want to be a part of it. Now, with that being said, if I'm playing a breakout, like if I'm thinking, hey, this thing needs to go, a lot of times what I do is I'll say, look, I'm gonna say it needs to hold the high and tight positions. So it would be fine to say, if you want to play a breakout, I'm going to use this level as a stop or this level as a stop. That's fine. There's no wrong answer in that. But it's also, well, you could also say, you know what, I'm willing to buy this and then add to it if it comes all the way back down here. So as long as you can keep yourself safe, it's fine. There's no right or wrong answers. Everybody has to set up their trades individually. But the chart and the language of charting, what it's telling you is as long as it's above these people, it's a long. And you should buy dips and long. And those dips should be bought off of the zones that we have established. Right? Now, this is the biggest zone, right? The one that I wrote zone in. And then I'll write tiny zone for another little zone that you could buy off of, right? Same. So if you wanted to buy a bunch here and then stop out, buy a bunch here and then stop out, buy a bunch here and then stop, great. If you wanted to buy some here, add here, great. If you wanted to buy the breakout, stop if it breaks below here, add again, or try to buy back here again and then buy back here, great. There's no wrong way to do this, okay? Does everybody understand that? The wrong way to do this is to continue to play if the chart breaks. That's it. So let's look and see what happened. Oh, there's your breakout. You guys remember what I said about a liquidity chase? Why do market makers do this? They do this because they know that algorithms and people are buying breakouts. You guys see this huge volume candle down here? That lines up with this breakout. They're sucking people in, they're sucking the algos in, and then they're going to, in this case, dump it on them. So if we were willing to try and buy, like, all right, let's buy the breakout. If this was me, I would probably say, all right, I'm willing to buy the breakout. But if it doesn't work, I'm willing to add down here around 121. And then I'll portion out here. But if it rolls over below that, I'm going to trail stop out. That's how I personally would have traded this. And then I would have said, but if it does trail stop me out, I'm actually going to look for one of two things. I'm going to look for a failed breakdown, and let's see if this area can hold. And if it does do a failed breakdown and goes back up, I'll be right back in it. But if it rolls back over and comes down here, man, that's going to give us a really deep pullback. So I could probably play that on the daily TTM squeeze or the 195. Those are the next two options for me. Why? Well, that's volume profile within a technical analysis bullish chart that is a trend, pattern, and a squeeze. All right, well, let's see what happened. Oh, we tried doing a break and a reclaim. We failed, which means we're going to come back down to the next level. Now we're putting in a possible, whatever you want to call the cup, you know. The bottom line is this VP is starting to hold. So what am I doing at this point? I'm doing nothing. I trail stopped out of my breakout play. This was my risk. This is how I would have played it. And I'm just watching it. Prove to me that you can come back up here. I'll play another breakout. I'll go for it. Or otherwise, I'm looking for a deep pullback. And so if you decided, you know what, if you're like if you're like another one of my friends, then you'll be like, hey, I'll buy off 120. I love it. Great, you're in. But if you do buy here at this point, the correct play is to risk down here. You should have another add down here. Why? That's the volume profile. That's the over-under level, right? So this is the power of volume profile. The power of volume profile is to say this chart did not break down, even though it did a failed breakout. We never even got below 120, but for like half a second. So if you were willing to buy at 120, because it's still within a TTM squeeze, it's pulling back into the ADMA and it fits your edges, great. This is the power of volume profile. If this was technical analysis, all we're doing is losing money. And another example of this on a much shorter time frame. Let me get, sorry, to video. Okay, so again, the way that I play things, right? What do we have here, and what was I saying I was willing to play? Everybody sees this, right? Well, if you're a straight technical analysis person, you've got a line here that says once we break 127.50-ish, we should go. Well, what happened? Well, we broke, but we came back below 127.50. So a technical analysis trader, that would stop us out. Or it could. But when we understand volume profile, really what we need to find out in here is where is that level that we should risk off of. And for me, I'm going to have to zoom into it again. All right, here we are. Where would you say the point of control is for this ascending triangle? Well, to me, it's right here. So as long as you hold that point of control, you're fine. This is the important spot for me on a breakout trade instead of a dip buy trade, right? Let's put it in there. It didn't even come close to it, I don't think, but we'll show the lines. As long as that area holds, all right, great. Now, if you wanted to play it high and tight, if you wanted to say, you know what, if it breaks and goes, it needs to hold, you know, maybe the value area high of this entire flag, right? So it's like, well, what would that area be? Well, it looks like to me right there. Right. All right, now let's undo chart. Okay. So from a technical perspective, this breakout looks like it's failing because you've broken back down below and you're nervous. But in reality, for me, the way that I see things, because of volume profile, these are the people that are keeping you up. Even the high and tight stop, like we had on PLD, would be here. And then if you wanted to say, hey, I'm going to stop out there, great. The next buy would be here for me, right? So if you want to play a breakout, keep it high and tight, stop out, okay, great. I would try it again, possibly there, right, at your point of control. If you wanted to say, hey, I'm willing to let it come all the way down to here, and I'll buy some more, great. Either one of them is fine. But what I want you to understand about this session is when you use technical analysis, you need to use volume profile because it is technical analysis on steroids. And for whatever reason, I have no idea why, people don't use it. And when people that do use it, don't use it correctly. And so I found this edge that I don't think will ever go away because it is human emotions and people will always bow to their emotion. The majority of people, not everybody. And that's why I'm willing to share this, because if I share it, I don't think it's going to go away, right? If I thought it was going to go away, I wouldn't share it. So now let's just look at where we are right here, right now at NVIDIA. If we look at the overall chart, look, we're coming down for days, right? Yeah, that's bearish. If we look at a little bit further back, but look, we're coming up from over here. That's bullish. Okay, well, how should we play this? What kind of edge could I set up? If the market closes here, what am I going to do tomorrow? Well, to me, the way that I see this is this looks kind of like it wants to bounce. Well, why? Well, because the people that caught us here, we're still above them. So what's the next thing to happen? So what I would say to you guys is, if you come back into this zone, this will be your first hit. I think this level will hold, barring news. If Trump comes out and says, hey, we're tariffing everybody 75%, we're just going to go straight through everything. Doesn't matter. News trumps technicals. Normal technical analysis, excuse me, you're going to bounce off this box that was created with our pattern, our ascending triangle, my favorite pattern, right? I think we will bounce in this box, and it will give us an opportunity to try to catch. Maybe we don't bounce here, maybe we don't bounce here, maybe it comes all, maybe it just does something like this, and then it does that and rolls over. But that'll give us an opportunity to try to buy and scalp and dig the ditch to see if this level is going to hold or not. The only way I know about this box is volume profile combined with technical analysis. Okay, any questions on this? Sorry, I haven't been able to keep up with chat. I just wanted to get through the training. I'm going to pause it